There's 5 or 6 tools that I use pretty much every day in my business. One of them is Kit, formerly known as ConvertKit. I use it to reach people via email, to deliver products, and have experiences that I have control over, but also make it the most convenient possible for my customers. What I'm about to show you is how to build out a simple, straightforward email course that you can use as a lead magnet or onboard people into your system, your business. You can use all of the principles that I cover for anything related to email marketing, delivery, or anything to grow your business. This is really only scratching the surface, and I could go into a lot of depth on so many things. If there's something that you would like another dedicated video on, maybe some kind of product solution, let me know and I'll do what I can. All right, we're going to dive right into it in just a second, but first a little bit of context. So on the left here, you see the Kit website. Go here, start a free trial, try things out from this lesson yourself. Just kit.com. Used to be called ConvertKit. Now, who is this lady? Well, I decided I needed some inspiration for this email course that I wanted to build. And what better example for a course that is designed to be spread out over several days than someone's 7-day home workout challenge. You're not going to watch each video all at once. You're going to be watching these one day after another. So why not have each of those videos sent to your inbox if you are the customer? All right, with that out of the way, let's get into building the email course now. I have a fresh setup here. I'm starting from scratch, so you should see pretty much the same experience that you will get if you're just starting out. You don't have a huge setup. You don't even have a website yet for anything. Maybe you don't even have significant social media built up anywhere. You're building this email course as kind of a lead generation tactic or a welcome sequence or something to gain awareness or attention on social media, okay? That's the idea behind this. That's what I will be building. Now, in broad strokes, what we're going to be doing is we are going to build a landing page where people can sign up for our email course. That landing page, when they sign up, will enroll them into a sequence of emails that they will then receive. And what connects that landing page with the sequence is a visual automation. We will set all 3 of those things up and a couple other things to connect things. So let's start with that landing page. So right off the bat, if you're wondering what's the difference between landing pages and forms, forms are great for embedding into a website or some other external experience, external to Kit. You can even reference forms in API calls, but that's not what we're doing. We don't have a website that we're trying to embed things into. We're going to build a standalone landing page. So let's start creating that. Now, when I get to the email sequence, I'm going to put some thought into how things are laid out and the content and everything. For everything else, I'm not going to bother with how things look with the details of the content or anything like that. So let's just go with this Abby landing page. So I select that. And there's a lot that you could do to personalize things, leverage your own branding, your own colors, change the fonts that you use for everything, put your photo here, all of this stuff you can adjust. You can also add new fields here. So in addition to the email address, you could ask for people's name. However, this is just fine for what I'm doing right now. Let's give it a name. There we go. It's saved. I'll double check it's saved. And then when you click publish, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't publish, quote unquote, anything. It just gives you access to shortcuts to be able to share things on Facebook, on X, or just get a link. And this is automatically created for you. You don't have to do anything. And I'll just show you what it's like. There we go. This is the experience. And you can sign up, test it out yourself, but I'm not going to bother with that until I've set up a couple other things. If I were doing this for real, I would probably test it at this point, but I don't want to waste time. So the landing page is good to go. Now, let's work on the sequence. So you click the big button to start creating a sequence, and let's go with Monterey for the template that we will use. You start out with the template that just fills things in. You can create your own templates as well, or start with one that Kit provides you. Let's name this sequence. There we go. Here's the subject line. This is what people will see. Now, quick tip, I leave this like this until the end because this is my signal that it's not ready yet. If you don't want to do that, you can do something like add an emoji that you'll recognize that it's not done. Like, let's just put the heart emoji. And that can be your own little sign to yourself that you need to adjust this later. And the reason that I do that is because I often don't really know what the ideal subject line is going to be until I've finished filling out the email. Okay, moving on. This is one control that you can use to publish your email. There is also this button down here. Either one does the same thing. Now, when this email sends, it defaults to 1 day after whatever trigger happens. But in every sequence that I've made for myself so far, the first email in the sequence, I always want to be triggered immediately. Someone signs up on a landing page. I want that first email sent now. I imagine at some point in the future, I may have a situation where I want to delay the first email by a day or a week or whatever. But so far, every time, I've always wanted it to be sent immediately. And the way that you do that is by changing this 1 to a 0. Now it says immediately in there. You can only do that for the first email in the sequence. Every other email after that, the minimum amount of time that has to exist between each email is 1 hour. You can't have them any closer together than that. You can always change the template if you want. If you do, it replaces all the content in the email, just to warn you. There will be a warning that would pop up if you did do that anyway. You can filter people out so that whatever filter conditions you put here, those subscribers would not receive this email. I don't use this, at least not yet. I have other ways using tags and the automations that the people that I wouldn't want to get something, they would never even get to this point anyway, but that could be useful for you. And then careful with this one, this deletes the email. Now, when we get into the email itself, if you click on something, how do you make adjustments? You gotta go over here and toggle it to styles. Since I clicked on that image, I can actually replace the image with the banner from Heather's YouTube channel. There we go. That's how easy it is. You can apply your own branding to the email. Now, what else might I want to do? There's a lot of text here, and this is a good enough format, like kind of an introduction, big heading to get attention, a little more text to lead you into the big call to action. Okay, let's focus on this call to action here. What would we want that to be? Probably something that they would do after they watch the video. Oh, okay. Well, let's include the video somewhere then. Let's actually put it here. And there's 2 ways that you can add new elements. You can either hover around or click around until this plus icon appears. And then you click on that and all of your options appear. Alternatively, wherever you're at in here, you can just hit enter and then type / and it brings up that same menu. So what I want is a video, and she has a video series. So I'm just going to grab the URL from her video series and put it in here. There we go. Let's add something here. There we go. What else do we want to do? Let's go back to this call to action. What would we want people to do after that? Well, actually, let's go look at this video inside YouTube. What does she have that's going on there? Okay, so there's the video itself. There's the playlist, all the stuff in the description. What does she have here? There's a bunch of links going on here, starting with a nutrition guide at the top. This is probably something that she wants people to click on. Okay, let's make this the call to action. So this button, the URL will be that. Okay, and then, yeah, let's update the copy a little bit. All right. Now this button, can I center it? There we go. Yeah, I like that. And then if you want to change the color, if you want to make it stand out, you can always either just click around in here and just figure out what color you want, or you can add the hex code if you already have branded colors set. Let's bold that text while we're at it. Or just make it Arial black. There we go. That really made it stand out. Cool. And now let's preview. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Not bad, not bad. I think there's supposed to be a background here. Let's change the background color to, let's start with whatever that color is. Okay. Let's lighten it up a bit and a little less saturated and a little lighter. We'll do that. Oof. That makes that less readable. There we go. And the link color. There we go. Good enough. Oh, and if you want to get rid of this, click it, toggle that off, and then it won't appear. Let's preview again. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. You can also send a test email to yourself, but I want to try to streamline the video, so I'll save that for later. And let's publish this. Now, publishing just means that it's available, but it's not hooked up to anything. It's not connected to that landing page. There's no visual automations referencing it or anything. So it's not sending it to anyone. So you don't need to worry about that. I'll publish, and now it's good to go.
Oh, this is horrible.
Okay, that was weird. My video recording software quit on me for 10 minutes apparently. So you did not see me save the colors and create the email template. That just happened off camera. I also created a new email from the template and filled it in. If you want me to go into email templates and setting up your brand colors and everything, let me know. I can cover that in another video. But for now, I think I'll just show you what happens when I add a new email to the sequence. Okay, so it follows this same template that I'm using. This is precisely what the template looks like now. It starts off not published, and then all you have to do is add the appropriate links here. So just to do this quickly, I'm not going to bother getting the URL for day 3. We'll just use day 1 again. And, the next call to action goes here. There we go. And publish it. All right. But now we have a 3-day email sequence where this arrives immediately. A day later, this email arrives. And then a day after that, this email arrives. And really, it's just rinse and repeat from that point for filling out the other 4 days. But now, there's nothing connecting the landing page to this sequence yet. That's where the visual automation comes in. So I'm going to start with a clean slate here, start from scratch, and start building. And it all starts with joining that form/landing page. When it says join form here, landing page counts as a form. So we select my first landing page. And this is the first event. That is the triggering event. So once they sign up to that, I want them to start the sequence, the 7-day workout challenge. There we go. Now, the other thing that I would like to do whether it's for tracking things or being able to target customers for deals or specials, or just having a good way to track how popular different things are. I want to add a tag to that user when they sign on to the landing page. And I want that to happen before this starts. I don't want to wait for the sequence to finish before they get the tag. I want it to happen here. So I will add that now. Add a tag. I don't have any tags yet. Let's call this tag just 7 days. Why not? We add that action. There we go. This is all that we need. There's a lot of complexity that you could add to things. And as you work on things over time, the complexity will grow in a natural way. But don't ever try to force anything. Just start simple. Speaking of which, let's rename this. How about just simple 7 automation? Yeah. Okay, there we go. And don't forget to activate it. If you don't, it'll show that it's inactive here. Okay, but just make sure that you activate it. There we go. Now, do we want to test it? Let's test it. Okay, here's the landing page, and I'll just put my alter ego's email in here and subscribe. And this is the success message, the default one here. Now, it usually takes a couple minutes for these emails to arrive. Okay, so I'm in the email inbox, and here it is. So I signed up, and I get this, and I will confirm my subscription. All of these are standard defaults, and you can customize any and all of these steps, by the way. Okay, so that email is confirmed, and you should see, yep, there we go. Recent subscriber, and it shows the last interaction with your email system that they had. Now, since this happened, let's go to the automation. It says there's a 1 subscriber. And you can see completed 1 subscriber. And here, 1 subscriber completed, being tagged. And then finally, the 7-day workout challenge, 1 current subscriber. So even though nothing has been delivered to my inbox yet, I'm clearly being worked through the system here. Let's check my inbox again. Yep, there we go. Here's day 1 in my inbox. And I'm getting this message because I'm sending it to myself, and I'm using just a standard Gmail address. There's settings that you can put into your system that will decrease the likelihood of things like this happening. But here's the email. Looks pretty good to me. And I can watch the video and click on the call to action. Cool. All of this is fantastic. But there's actually 2 more things that I want to do real quick. Okay. And if we go to the Styles tab and let's click on this button. Okay. So I can add a URL, of course. What does this do? Automate link clicks. You can either add a tag here manually, or there's something called a link trigger, which requires rules. And I'm a big fan of these rules. So let's create a rule right now. And you do that by going to Rules under Automate. Oh, and it looks like it created one by default when I did that. And this is good. This is the destination URL that I want, but I want to rename it. And then, yeah, I want to add a tag, but that's not the tag that I want. I want to create a new tag, actually. So this 7 days tag, that's really me telling myself as a reminder in the future, like, oh, this person took that 7 days challenge course. But I also want to gather information about what people are interested in, and what better way to understand people's interests than by what they click on in your emails. So I'm going to create a new tag, and I'll call this tag Interest Nutrition. This is one of those tags that I can use in the future whenever I have a product that I build and it's centered around nutrition. I can decide, okay, I'm only going to send an email to people who have the tag interest nutrition in the future when I have that product and I make that product announcement. So now that we have that rule, let's go back to my sequence, go in there, and on that button now, let's clear everything and just make it clean, just so it's very clear what's happening here. Okay, so I'm going to click on this lightning bolt and select a link trigger, this user interested in nutrition. There we go. So I will publish those changes. And now anyone who clicks this button in the email, they will get that tag added to their email profile in my system. Now, like I said, one thing that you can do with that is in the future, you have a new nutrition-based product, you can send an email that's dedicated only for them. You could also do something like on the final day, let's say this third day is actually the final day of the sequence. And maybe there's a bunch of normal stuff here, okay? But then at the end, you have a new section. This section is there, a personalization section. And I'm gonna click on subscriber tags conditional, okay? This is a little more advanced, but I wanted to show this. I really wanted to show this. There we go. So if the subscriber has been tagged with interest nutrition, there we go, then I want something here. So if they have that tag associated with them, then you can say that. And I don't need to have this else portion. So now let's preview the email. Michelle doesn't see anything because he was entered into the sequence before any of those tags even existed. So he didn't click on anything that had that rule applied to it. So he wouldn't see anything, but other people who would have that tag would see this part. And so you can use this to target people in emails that you're sending out to everyone, but only certain people will get certain calls to action, certain upsells or cross sells. And you can add that at the end of your course based on what people did or did not click on during the course of the course. Of course. As a reward for finishing the video, you get to see Mogwai, my buddy. What did you think? Was it hard? Not too bad, right? Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see something else. Well, on Kit. Or anything. Yeah, pretty much anything. I'm not showing skin, though.